Okay, so I have another predicament, which is, do I go to Thomas's funeral or not? His dad has recently died, I think in the last year or something, and his mum's got dementia. I've never met any of his family. I probably should know something about his family because my sister's pregnant, and I'm convinced that it's Thomas is going to come back inside her stomach if the baby in pregnancy goes well. I think that's what's going to happen. I think that's what's going to happen because of lots of things. I went to town Jesus on the day that he died. And my sister likes to copy me. I liked someone who was 17 years older than me, and this guy was 17 years older than her. The difference is, though, I'm quite a mature person. My sister, however, is quite an immature person and acts like a child and doesn't believe a word that I say when it comes to everything. But yeah, I believe in my past life. I was got pregnant I was a cave woman, and I got pregnant by some sort of Neanderthal. I too was a Neanderthal though, so but I would have had sort of a different type of DNA in my blood, which would have, or just there's something in my blood that would have changed things to create human DNA. But yeah, he died and was reborn in my stomach, and this is where the sort of the ISIS story or myths come from. And yeah, I think my sister's copied me, and she's going to do the same thing. I do know that I'm God though, and therefore being reborn, I mean, going to someone's funeral when I feel like there's something in myself or there's a God who is me, inside of me, jumping out of the timeline, creating things. And therefore I think she set this arrangement up. His family don't know anything about me. I'm really hoping that they're not going to watch or see any of these videos right now, because I'm probably seeming quite heartless because he only died recently. But technically I don't really know much about him, although everything that I do know about him, he sounds perfect for my mum.
And I don't get Sophie into trouble. Anna, don't say anything. I told you not to interfere with Sophie's business.
My mum's an idiot and she doesn't believe anything that I say.
Delete everything you just put.
No, I'm not. Go away.
Why?
Are you going to tell? Do you think I'm God?
No, Anna. I don't.
Why don't you think I'm God?
Anna, look, can you just stop doing what you're doing?
Why don't you think I'm God? Why don't you look at any evidence that I have? Okay, that's just an example of what I have to put up with every single day.
You're just upset, Anna, we all are.
I'm not upset. I don't know the guy. I'm upset at you for not believing anything that I say.
We're all upset, Anna. But beyond people hearing all this nonsense, and the family won't be happy with you saying all this.
Yeah, well, I'm deciding whether or not to go to the funeral or not. I don't know if I should go to the funeral or not.
Yes, of course you are. I'm going. Anna.
So yes, because
he was good to
I'm God, and
Anna, he was.
Good
to Sophie.
You've got no intelligence inside of you. Go away. Intelligently, I know. I've met him once, and I knew a little bit about him. Okay, I think he's gone through I don't think he was happy with his life. I don't think he believed that he was living the life he wanted to. I think he always wanted better. He was depressed with the jobs that he had. He felt like it wasn't good enough. Like there was a few jobs that he tried to do. There was one on a caravan park, and I think it lasted 2 weeks, and then they came back. This was only a few months ago. He used to hang out with a lot of people from the pub and bring them back, and I think Sophie wasn't happy with that because they would be mostly strangers and you'd talk all night, and I think that stopped. But at the same time, because it stopped, he actually started feeling a bit depressed and started feeling more depressed because he liked meeting all these different people, and I think he was trying to be more devoted to Sophie, and I think he really did like Sophie, but at the same time I feel like he had some sort of I think he was a bit blinded to what Sophie's really like. They're not similar. They're not similar in any ways. And I think because she was a lot younger and acts a lot younger, I think seeing and being with him would have reminded him about how he's a bit too old for her. And yeah, I don't know if he would have wanted me to go there because I feel like part of the reason why he killed himself was because he felt like he wasn't good enough for her, even though that's not the truth. This is what depression does to you. It makes you feel depressed and like you're not good enough, and there is a lot of fathers who do walk out on their kids because they feel like they're not good enough for their child, or that they feel like their child would be better off without them, and then the child grows up not having their father, and that's not how the child feels. The child probably might grow up hating them for not being around, but they're not going to see it in the same way that the father sees it. The father might see himself as being useless and seeing himself as being like, oh, I'm not going to be any good for him and stuff. And then in reality, the child is going to grow up thinking, well, why has he walked off and stuff? And well, if someone's killed themselves, and there's no turning back and there's no change. And I don't know, like, I think because I think it's going to be the same person coming back, I feel like he would much rather me get to know him as like a new soul, as someone, who's got the whole life ahead of him, someone who's, I think he there was a job, my mum said there was a job that he got in England, but because his English was from Madeira, because his English wasn't very good, and maybe because of his race or something, he didn't feel like he really belonged in England, but he really loved England and he really wanted to be here. And I think he kind of wanted to be English and wanted to be maybe more white or something just to fit in. Like he wasn't black or anything, but he wasn't his race. I don't know what. So I don't know. Some people are really like picky about not being the same as, like, he was the only person from Portugal in his workplace, and I think my mum said that he wasn't happy being the only Portuguese person there. And sometimes he did say things that I didn't quite understand. But yeah, like how would he, and that's what I'm trying to think, would he want me to go to his funeral? Because I didn't really know him. I met him once and I don't really know how long that was for. I'm thinking about if he comes back to life and my sister's son, when he grows up, and when he gets older, when he gets to 15, 16, 17, would he care that I didn't go to his funeral? Or might he just think, you know what, that's my past, we'll get over it, I can understand why you didn't go, because facing his brothers and sisters whilst knowing that something inside of me might actually be the reason why he's dead or has set this up, knowing that this would happen, God knows the beginning from end, and therefore whatever's inside of me would know the beginning from end, and therefore if someone dies, technically my higher self would have known that and maybe could have stopped it. There was quite a few reasons why he was feeling depressed. His dad died, he lost £44,000, and and I feel like my higher self would have easily been able to stop the person, maybe would have been able to stop the person from stealing that money, or maybe stop dad from dying. But dying is a normal thing. It happens, and it has to happen because this is just the process. I'm sure his dad's got a nice new life, although recently, I think usually there's like a few years gap in between coming back. But yeah, I think in his case, he's come back straight away. But I think he would like it. I think he'd much rather be, I don't know, born in England and have a British passport and stuff. And I bet there's loads of people that would love to, to have a British passport. And I'm pretty sure there's loads of people that would be willing to die for a British passport. I don't want to say this and make it too obviously, but there's a lot of people that come to England and die in the sea, in the Channel. And you know what? I'm pretty sure I'm going to be granting them their wishes. If they're willing to die to get to England, then it makes sense to just bring them back to life in an English baby. There's loads of souls in England, babies. There's loads of babies in England that get born and need souls. And well, it would be easy to just take the souls of people who are willing to die to get into the country, because it shows their sort of devotion to wanting to be in the country. And I think that's making their wish come true. And, yeah. But how many people are going to find out this and know, hey, if you want a British passport, what you need to do is show your dedication to want to be in England and kill yourself, and then I will bring you back and you'll have an English passport and an English family and stuff. But yeah, the thing is, it's with most people, I can't 100% guarantee that is going to happen. With him, I feel like I can, just because I'm God and my sister's fairly close to me. Like, I don't really talk to her, but yeah. Still not. I'm trying to work out if I should go. I think if it was this week, I would 100% go. But because it's next week, it's really annoying because I bought a train ticket, which is £16 to go up to Birmingham. I really want to go back up to Birmingham because I haven't been there for like 3 weeks now, and I don't know. Facing the family, if they 100% knew that I was gone, 100% knew that I was going to bring them back, and if the baby was actually born, I could say, look, your son's not dead. Your brother's not dead. Here he is. I think that would be different, but. Yeah, I mean, if I went to the funeral, 100% wouldn't be saying anything. But yeah, I don't really want them to get suspicious and start looking up on the YouTube video, because they might start thinking it's a bit insensitive or a bit too soon to start talking like this. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still undecided on whether I should go or not.